Hello, family. All right, I am here and I am live. Give me 1 second. I am trying to get things together over here. Let me make sure that everybody can hear me. All right, so let me just do a few little tests to see if I am live. And I think that I am over here. Yes, I am. Okay, let me turn that down so I don't get any feedback. Just give me 1 second and let me just come over here and go live. So good. I haven't been on this thing in a minute. Oh my goodness. I have not been live like this. It's been a long time. It has been a long time. All right, let's flip it. There we go. Okay. I'm almost ready to make some things happen, you guys. It has been a long time coming, but I'm just so happy to be here. And I'm happy to see you guys. I know the last time we used to do Tough Talk, and things just got so hectic in life. I had to stop Tough Talk. But now we are doing another series. All right, I think I'm good. All right. So let's get started. Now I'm going to already tell you that I have notes. Okay, hey TikTok. Okay, I'm over here on TikTok, over on YouTube. I'm over on Facebook. So we are good. So I can see all of the comments as they come up because I do want to hear, I do want to read what you guys have to say. Okay, what does that say? Okay. I'm getting notes as they're coming up, so I gotta see what's going on over here. Okay, this is a very, very serious topic that I'm going to talk about tonight. In fact, this is actually the first one that I'm doing on my YouTube. So we're streaming now on Facebook and on my YouTube, and I got TikTok over here, but this is really for YouTube because I want to kind of really save this for women, and I just don't want to say women. Because there may be some men too that need to hear this. And so I'm just going to put it just out there. So whoever this is for, okay, whoever this is for, let the chips fall where they may, because this is a topic that we don't like to talk about. Okay, this is a topic that I really feel is shunned, but it's rampant. I mean, it's everywhere. When you begin talking about it, you will begin to see these kind of behaviors everywhere. Okay. And so I'm going to, this is going to be broken down into a couple parts. The first part is first just to give you an understanding of what a narcissist is, what they look like, how they move, how they operate. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't even know there was such thing as a narcissist. I didn't even know it was a disorder called narcissism. I had no idea until I experienced it. And when I began to research what I was experiencing, that's when I realized, I said, wait a minute, this is really a sickness. I mean, this is really just like alcoholism, just like, a drug, a disorder, just like ADHD, just like all of these things that we have labeled. TikTok, I see you over here. But just like all of these things that we have labeled, there is a such thing as a narcissist and narcissist disorder. Okay. Narcissistic disorder. And so what I'm doing tonight is I am educating. What I'm doing tonight is I am looking for people who may be in this situation or may be experiencing this right now in your life, and you just don't know what to do. You just don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. You don't know where to turn. You don't know who to turn to. And first, you got to deal with the stuff that's already in you, because you may be ashamed. You may be embarrassed about what you experienced. You don't want to tell anybody. It's a whole lot of emotions that go into this. Okay. So let's just jump right in to what a narcissist is, what they look like. The first thing about a narcissist is that they elevate themselves. It's about self-image. It's about how they look to society, how they look to their, how their family feels about them, how their friends feel about them, the friends that they grew up with, the friends that they had in high school and college. It's all about an image, okay? And they're going to do whatever they have to protect that image. Now, the other thing about a narcissist that's very, very important that you need to understand is that a narcissist moves in a way that they look for the person that can give them oxygen. They look for a person, they look towards a person that, just like we need oxygen to breathe, that's how they attach to people that will elevate their lives. That if, for example, if somebody has a nice job or a nice house, or or they look really, really good, a narcissist won't look towards that person and say, you know what, I've fallen in love with them. No, that's not how a narcissist moves. A narcissist will think like this: what can I get from that person? How can that person elevate me? How can that person begin to add clout to me? But this is the thing. This is where the sickness comes in. The narcissist doesn't even realize that they're doing this because they feel as though it's normal. They feel it's normal to move like that. They feel it's normal to be like that. And they don't even identify with what they're doing. Okay, so that's one thing. So just think, when you think about a narcissist, think about someone who where their self-image is very, very, very important to them, where their self-image is their all in all. Okay. And so the next thing is about a narcissist is that they are attention seeking. So let me hold here for a minute so I can get you to understand what that means. When we're talking about someone being attention seeking, they will create the scenarios where it's all eyes on them. Okay. They're going to have, I don't care what it is, they're going to create the scenarios where they are going to be the center of attention. Okay. And they need that. They thrive off of that. Because remember, it's about their self-image. Okay. It's about how people view them and how people see them. So they're going to create scenarios where they are going to be the center of attention. And that could be in very small groups, or it could be in a very large gathering. But most of the time, you're going to see this mostly in family units or in units of friends. Okay. That's where you're mostly going to see this kind of behavior kind of raise up. Okay. Now, with a narcissist, when you first come in contact with a narcissist, they move very slowly. So let me explain what I mean. They move very slowly. In the beginning, it's going to be all about, I love you. I mean, you're going to have love bombs everywhere. They're going to make everything comfortable for you. You're going to get the flowers and the jewelry and the massages, and they're going to take you places possibly that you've never been before. I mean, they're going to really try to expand your mindset where it comes to what love is. It's going to be like something you've never experienced before, because they go over and beyond to prove that they love you and they care for you and they want to be with you. I mean, it's in the beginning, it is beautiful. I mean, again, it's something that you've never experienced before. Okay. But they move very slowly. So over a period of time with this narcissist, you're going to start to see them begin to change, and you're going to start to see that self-image start to come out. The self-image of looking at me. Okay, everything is about me. What do I want for dinner? See, what I eat for dinner, everybody's going to have to eat for dinner. Okay. No, I don't want to go see that movie. We're going to watch another movie. It's all about them. Okay. But this doesn't happen in the beginning. So this is the key. Please remember this. It doesn't happen in the beginning. In the beginning, it's kind of like a mind swap, because they make it all about you. Okay. And then as time progress, you'll begin to see the switch. Okay. Where it begins to be about them, but it'll be a lot more forceful because you'll start to see attitude attached to it. Okay. So again, we're still giving you the understanding of what a narcissist is. And again, this is just the groundwork for those who don't know, because some may not even know, what a narcissist is, because just remember that, it's somebody who's, they're very self-absorbed. Okay. And if you stray away from their program just a little bit, you will see the attitude begin to flare up. And the attitudes can range. I mean, the attitudes in the beginning will be, just somebody who may come off as they're just pouting. But over a period of time, those attitudes will become very aggressive. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. It changes. In the beginning, the attitude is just a very small attitude, something that you feel as though, I can deal with. Somebody just, they just feel on themselves today. But over a period of time, the attitude will increase and it will become aggressive. So that's another sign for a narcissist. Now, I want to bring out this statistic. I know it's going to get some men upset, but it is what it is. Narcissism is found mostly in men. Okay, it is found mostly in men. So keep that in mind too. So when we're talking about this narcissist, another characteristic is they have a sense of entitlement. When I'm talking about a sense of entitlement, let me break that down. They already feel as though the world belongs to them. Okay, they might not have a dime in the bank, but they already feel as though they might be entitled to anything that you have earned. Okay, there's a sense of entitlement of I want this is mine and I'm entitled to it. Okay, simply because I'm with you. That's the mindset of a narcissist. Okay, and so when you talk about the sense of entitlement, that's a dangerous area. Okay, because anybody that feels entitled, that means there's no room for anybody else. Okay, case in point, that brings on the selfishness of this narcissist. That brings on the self. That's one of the traits, because when there's no room for anyone else, again, it's all about what I want. It's a very, very selfish disorder. Okay, it's a very, very selfish person. Now, with this narcissist, this will begin to take over people's lives. Okay, I mean, it'll begin to take over your life, because remember I told you it happens very slowly. But when they latch on and when they become full throttle in the narcissist, it will rob you of life, because once you're intertwined in that full thrust of that narcissist, it's hard to get out at that point. It's kind of too late. Okay, because now this is at the point where you're going to see all the aggression. You're going to see the full behavior of this person. You're going to see the full, and I'm going to call them temper tantrums, because they're like temper tantrums, to the point a narcissist can become abusive. They can become physically abusive, where they'll start throwing things and cursing and hollering and screaming and disrupting everybody in the household. And if anybody disrupts, like I said, their program or turns against them, then they'll go after that person. This is when you will begin to see the wrath of a narcissist. But when it's building up, like I said before, this is the part that people don't see. They don't understand what has happened until it's too late. Okay, until you are thrust in this person's entire being, and you're trying to get out, but you can't. You know why? Because that's where the next phase comes in. All right, so let me talk about this next phase of the narcissism. And then I'm going to begin to share with you mainly how to get out of this. Okay, when it's too late. Okay, when you are already in that space now where this narcissist has shown you fully and completely who they are. This is when your lives are like totally intertwined. Okay, whereas you're of course you're living together. Okay, you're in a relationship with them, could be engaged to them, could be married to them. Your finances are intertwined. You may have children together. This is what I'm talking about. When you get to that point, and they know that it's no easy escape for you, that's when it comes out. And this is the part where everybody begins to experience these behaviors, and you don't understand. It's hard for you to understand. I'm gonna tell you why it's hard for you to understand, because you can't rationalize with a narcissist. So let me give you some scenarios that some may be familiar with if you're in this situation right now. Let's just say, for instance, you look outside, and I'm just giving you an example so I can get you to understand what my mindset is, and then you can put that same example in anything that you're experiencing right now in your life. Let's just say, for instance, I look outside and I can clearly see that the sky is blue. I clearly see it. The sky is blue. The narcissist will say, it's not blue out there. I don't see blue at all. In fact, I see red. But you're looking out and you see the sky is blue, but the narcissist says, it's not blue, it's red. It's at this point where you begin to try to understand, am I crazy? And then you begin to try to explain to the narcissist, no, it's blue outside. You go into a space now of trying to explain and to get them to understand why it's blue outside. And, this is the color blue. And, you see the blue, colors here and there, and what blue really is, and give them examples of, other things that's blue. I don't care what you do. They are not, let me repeat, they are going to always believe that the color is what they said it was. It's red. Now, when you kind of put that kind of scenario in your life, you can see how that can wreak havoc everywhere. Oh, somebody say, thanks for sharing. I spent a lot of wasted time. Oh, I learned the hard way. I feel you. Okay. And they drive me crazy. Yeah, so I'm looking at some of the comments on TikTok over here. But that's how a narcissist thinks. So now think about that kind of scenario when you're talking about finances, or something dealing with the children, or something that you need to handle in your household, or something like that. Think about that same type of mindset when you can clearly see what the facts are. You can clearly see what's going on. And the narcissist is saying, no, that's not what happened. Or no, that's not what it is. If that's happening over and over and over again, you'll begin to question your own sanity. You'll begin to question, wait a minute, but I see this right here. This is what I'm looking at. But the narcissist will get you to thinking, no, that's not what it is. And you can't convince them otherwise, because once their mind is locked on it, it is locked. It is like you can't change their mind. Okay. Because again, if anything in the program goes against that self-image, remember now, the narcissist is very selfish. If anything in the program goes against what they're thinking, if anything in the program goes against that mindset, when they have something locked in their mind and they have pictured it to be that way, you are not going to get anywhere with the narcissist. You're not getting anywhere. And also, I forgot to tell you this, there's different levels of this too. I mean, there's some narcissism, and I forgot I think it's called grandiose narcissism, where it's extreme. So you have people that fall in different levels of this narcissist. So if I'm sitting here giving you an example, like it's blue outside and the narcissist telling me it's red, okay? And again, that's just an example to get you to understand. But again, when you're talking about your life, as far as, finances and relationships and jobs and, and just living and decisions that need to be made for the children, and you're dealing with a narcissist, it would absolutely drive you batty to the point you won't know if you're coming or going. You will not know if you're coming or going. And this is where a lot of people are in situations right now. Okay, we've done all the build-up. Now it's time to really get to the next level of this. This is where a lot of people are right now. This is where a lot of people are experiencing right now, because they try to rationalize with somebody and they can't rationalize with them. They try to explain their way out. They try to show facts and they can't, because the person does not get it. They won't get it. And it comes into a battle. It's a constant battle. It's a constant fighting. It's constant fighting. Okay. And then those fights begin to escalate. Because remember, if you do anything to disrupt that narcissist program, if you do anything to disrupt their program, they're coming after you. So say, for instance, that you all have, let's just say you're having a financial account together. Okay. You have a checking account together with the narcissist. Okay. And you need tires. Okay. To look at the tires, they may seem okay, but the inside of the tire, it may be very, very worn out. It may be naked to the eye just looking at the car. But let's just say you went, got it checked out, and the inside of the tire is very, very worn, and you needed tires. So the tires that you got, let's just say they're a step above the ones that you had before. I don't care how much you tell that narcissist that those tires were worn out. You could even have documentation from the car dealership or the auto body shop that changed, or the tire shop that changed them, saying the narcissist will say, no, you know somebody there and you got somebody to write that up. I'm telling you the extremes that this can go. Okay. And I believe me when I tell you, it can go to that extreme. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. That narcissist will flip it, turn it, and it'll have you thinking that you're crazy and that the tires weren't messed up, even though you got the facts right there. Okay. So these are the scenarios that people may be living in right now. Okay. Women. This is why women are vulnerable to narcissism, because if you're dealing with a narcissist, okay, and especially a man, they may have greater strength than you. Okay. So they may try to flex to the point they may not hurt you, but some do. They may not, physically put their hands on you, but they may get in a threatening stance where they may appear that they will do something, or they may try to appear to scare you. Okay. It may not even go to that level. It may just be a constant back and forth, fighting, fussing, constantly, not being able to reason or rationalize with the other person because they don't get it. Have you ever been in a relationship and you're arguing back and forth and you make the statement, you just don't get it? You might be dealing with a narcissist. They can't get it. They're not going to get it because you may be trying to disrupt their program. Okay. Especially if it's something they want to do and you're disrupting it. Remember, everything revolves around the narcissist. Everything revolves around that narcissist behavior. So tonight, what we're going to talk about is, how do you get out of these relationships that have gotten to the extreme now, to the point that you can't rationalize, you can't talk to one another, you can't seem to have a meeting of the minds, and you don't know what's wrong. Okay, you don't know why. You done sat down with counselors. You done have family members talk to you. Nothing works. You done been to church. Okay, you done did everything you're supposed to. You done did the holy oil. You done did the anointings. You done been down with the prayer cloth. You have done it all, and it ain't working. Okay, this is why we need to talk about this, because if it's not working and you feel as though you're the same one, if you feel as though you're the one that can look outside to the sky and you can see that it's blue and somebody's telling you it's red, okay? If you're the one that you may have had, and I'm just giving you these examples, again, put your life in it. Your tires are worn out and nobody can't see it from the outside, but the inside is all worn out, and you get new tires, and the narcissist is mad because they're saying you're wasting the money, okay? If you're dealing with situations like that and you just cannot come to a meeting of the minds, or the person just simply, they don't understand, and you're saying the statements, you just don't get it, you need to look at the next level of this and ask yourself, am I dealing with the narcissist? Am I dealing with the narcissist? I'm stuck. I'm fighting day in and day out. I'm tired. I'm fighting about stupid stuff, little stuff that don't even matter. I'm tired. They're waking me up to fuss. We're going to bed at night and we're fussing. We're fussing throughout the day. Okay. And this is the thing. The narcissist, to the public, remember, it's self-image. They're going to be the sweetest person, oh my God, to their family members and to their friends. Oh, they're not going to hurt a fly. The pastor going to love them. Your own family's gonna love him. Okay. Oh, he's so nice. Oh, she's so nice. Oh, they're so respectful. And you're gonna be saying in your mind, you need to come home with me. you need to come home with me, because who you seeing, that's not who I'm seeing when we close that door. That I am not seeing this person that you seeing. That's not who I'm seeing. Okay. That's not who I'm experiencing. So if you're at a space right now, so let's just take it up a little bit more. Now that we really massage what a narcissist is, we really massage what these scenarios look like. We really massage these statements that you might make in your relationship when you just feel as though you can't talk anymore. There's nowhere else to go for this. How do you get out? Now this is where it can go left real fast. The minute a narcissist thinks that you're about to leave, the minute a narcissist feels as though that you're about to mess up their world, okay, that they used you to build, okay, remember, you're their oxygen. Remember, we talked about you're their oxygen. The minute they feel as though you're about to disrupt any of that, I'm telling you right now, all bets are off, and they're going to go for your jugular. They're going to make life hell. Now, in the beginning, when you start throwing out, I'm going to leave, I can't take this anymore. In the beginning, they may try to reel you back in. Okay. They may try to reel you back in and do the niceties and say, well, maybe let's go to counseling and all of that. But it's a trap. It's a trap. And again, let me be very, very clear. If the person is not a narcissist, then it will work. Going to counseling, doing the things that you need to do to keep the relationship together. It will work. Okay. I don't want anybody to think for a minute that I'm saying everybody that's in this experience of just not getting along with the person that you're with, that it's going south, because that's not true. If you can rationalize with that person, that already tells you they're not a narcissist. Okay. If both sides want to work it out and they really are putting all in to work it out, then it's a good chance you're not dealing with a narcissist, because a narcissist won't do that. Okay, a narcissist, it's entrapment. Okay, it's a like I said before, it's a disorder. And so in the beginning, like I said, if you're trying to leave and you can't rationalize with this person for a small period of time, a small period of time, they're going to try to work it out. Okay. They're going to, tell you, I'm sorry, but they ain't going to say sorry too many times. You might get a good one, I'm sorry, from a narcissist. And I'm talking about this may go for years. A narcissist is not going to apologize, because remember, they do no wrong. Okay. A narcissist does not do any wrong. They won't take responsibility or accountability for anything. If they can push it, they're going to push it. Even if it doesn't make sense to push, they're going to push it, because they can't. Remember the self-image, okay, of who they are. They're not going to disrupt that self-image. And so for a very small period of time, they're going to try to make it work. Okay. They're going to put a little bit in. They might not put as much in as you, but they're going to give they're going to make it appear as though that they're trying. Let's keep going. Now, after a small period of time, if you say it's not working for me, I can't. It's not. I can't do this, and I'm leaving. If you let them know that you're leaving, I'm telling you right now, all hell, the World War 3, 4, and 5 is going to break out. Okay, because the narcissist is very, very cunning, and they're calculating. Okay, so that's why you have to know what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with. Now, we're at the next level of this. Now it's really about to go ham. Okay. I'm going to talk to the group of people who will let the narcissist know that they're leaving. And that's the situation that I was in. Okay. I let the person know I'm out of here. Worst mistake I could have made in my life, because then I'm telling you, the calculations and the entrapments began. And this is the thing, they can do it in a way that you won't know what's happening. You'll be clueless to what's going on. You know why? Because when you're focused on you and when you're focused on trying to just do what you can for your life, especially if you have children, you're not in the mindset of trying to manipulate or hurt or bring anybody down. You just want peace and you just want to be delivered. Okay. What that guy say, I am delivered. Okay. You just want to be delivered and you just want peace in your life. But the narcissist is not going to let you have it. They're not going to let you have it. So I'm going to say it right now. If you're in this situation, do not let the narcissist know that you're leaving. Do you hear me, TikTok? Do you hear me, Facebook? Do you hear me, YouTube? And anybody else that might be forwarding this to somebody else? Do not let the narcissist know what your plans are. Because if you do, they're going to start plotting and planning and entrapping. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little later because I'm going to give you some of my experiences that happened. But right now, somebody is here just to really hear, how do I get out of this? So now, from my own experience and hindsight, this is what I should have done. Okay. And so I'm telling you now, this is what you need to do if you're in this situation. These are the steps that you need to take if you're in this situation. Because if I had done it this way, I don't think I would have had to. I would have experienced some of the heartbreak that I had to experience from some of the things that happened to me, some of the plots and plans that happened to me. So the first thing you need to do, if you know that you need to leave a narcissist, you got to save up money, you guys. Now, and I know some people, you may be in a situation whereas the narcissist pays for everything. They may be the one that, has all the money. And if that's the case, you're going to have to find a way to make some money because you're going to need it. Because once you finally break from that narcissist, they're not going to give you a dime. Okay. I'm telling you, right, they're not giving you anything. Remember, it's about them. It's all about them. And if you break if you disrupt their program in any kind of way, they don't, you have to understand, they don't have a heart. They don't care if you don't have any food. They don't care if you don't have any gas money. That you could have the kids. They don't care if you don't have gas money to get the kids to school. They don't care. They don't care. Because again, it's about them. Okay? It's about them. And if you disrupt that program, that's it. They're going to cut you off and this is the statement they will probably make. You figure it out. Okay? No, you left. You figure it out. Okay? This is where their mind goes. Okay, so the thing is, you're going to have to save up some money. How much money? If you can get about 3 months, okay, of at least 3 months stashed away to be able to, cover your bills and things that you need to do, that's good. For those that are saying, I don't have any money, I don't have any money. I have nothing. If you don't have any money, listen to me because I'm going to give you advice actually, it's the next one. If you don't have any money, the next one is then you need to make a plan. And even if you do have money, you still need to make a plan. But this is going to kind of help you with the plan. You need to make a plan when you're dealing with the 5 W's. Okay. So you need to know where you're going. If you don't have any money, you're going to need somebody that's going to help you. Okay. You're going to need a family member or friend. You're going to need somebody in place that's going to kind of help you get through this transition period. Because I'm going to tell you, once you leave, it's not going to be easy. The next step is they're not going to make it easy for you at all. So know where you're going and know who is going to help you. Okay. That's so important. Know where you're going and know who is going to help you. Okay. The next thing is you're going to have to determine when you're leaving. You're going to have to determine when you're actually saying, I'm out of here. I'm done. I don't care if it's a day where, again, if you haven't told them you're leaving, you better think about the day where you're going to have a crew of people come in and get your stuff out of that house or that apartment, wherever you stand, and everybody can do it while the person's at work. So when they come back, you are out of there. It has to be like that. I know you're like, is it that? Yes, it is that serious if you're dealing with the narcissist. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. It is just that serious. Okay. The next thing is you need to know how you're going to do this. And remember, the 5 W's is the H. How you're going to do all this? I mean, how are you going to transition from one place to another? And then the next thing is, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Okay, I see I'm lagging a little bit on Facebook. Did I catch up? Yes, I did. I caught up. Okay, it kind of eased up a little bit. So again, who's going to help you? Where are you going? What are you going to do? That means what's the actual plan? When is this going to happen? And how is it going to happen? You again, are you using a U-Haul truck? I mean, you got to really think about and put those 5 pieces together in a plan. It's really like a doggone escape plan. Okay, that's really what it is. It's an escape plan. You have to plan. So that's number 2. So remember, number 1, you need some cash. You're going to have to save up. My suggestion, at least 3 months. The next thing is 5 W's. Answer all those questions. Okay, that's part 2. You got to be able to answer those questions so you can implement successfully. The next thing, and number 3, is to shut up. Do not, and I repeat, do not tell anybody what you're planning on doing. I don't care. And I know some of you got best friends and you feel like I can tell my best friend everything. Don't you tell anybody anything until you're ready to push the button and go. Okay? You got to shut up. Okay? And I mean that with sincerity. You have to keep it close to home. Okay? Don't tell the children, don't tell them, and just go ahead and make the plan for whatever needs to take place, because after you're gone, it's going to be on anyway, because you're going to have to deal with somebody might, go to court and all this carrying on. So that's why you need to go ahead and plan the stuff before you leave, because as soon as you leave, it's going to kick in. Okay. The next thing is, make sure you change all the passwords, all your logins, change everything. Because if that narcissist can break in to anything on any computers that may be left, like you might have a desktop that's in an office space or something that's going to be left behind, clear all of your stuff off of there. Clear out everything. Anything that could have a password in it that's going to be left behind. Wipe it out. Okay, anything. And if y'all might have a bank account or what have you, you take your part out and switch it someplace else, but not to the point that you get in trouble, because they can use that against you. Okay. But my point I'm trying to make, you're going to have to move right. And you're going to have to think through how you're moving to the point that nothing that you do will come back. Because if they feel as though they got a leg in the door to do something to you, they're going to take that and they're going to make something up about you on top of that. Okay, so keep that in mind. Make sure you move right. Okay. Now, the next thing is number 5, have a copy of all of your personal documents in the house. Have a copy of everything. Okay. Everything, because you may need that. Have a copy, because if they're going to stop you from being able to get anything. If you're the one leaving, and 9 out of 10 times, it's the one that's being abused that's trying to get out, that's trying to get free. Get a copy of all personal documents, anything. I don't care, things that's in safe. Get a copy of everything that you can. That is so important, to get a copy. Okay. And start documenting everything, because the narcissist is a very good liar. Okay. The narcissist is a very good liar. So it's going to be so important that you keep a notebook and you start documenting everything and anything that they may do. Okay. And it doesn't seem important right now as I'm saying it, but I'm telling you, if you're standing in a court of law and they're saying that you were here, you did that, and you did this, the judge is going to look at you and you're going to need documentation or something to prove that is not true. I mean, my narcissist had the judge thinking I lived in an entirely different place, and I've never changed my residency anywhere. Okay. So it's the manipulation of the words and how they move. And this is the things and I feel like that's why I had to experience what I did, so I can help somebody else to know that things can be easily manipulated. but they can't be if you have your stuff together. Okay. And so, again, if you're in a situation, you feel stuck, you don't know how to get out, these are the things that you must move in. And the next thing is you're going to need to get some type of advice, some type of legal advice. And I suggest, if you can't afford, to sit down and, talk a lot of these lawyers, they have free consultations, but I don't even suggest doing that. I suggest just getting one of those legal plans. Okay. Like Legal Shield. I've had Legal Shield for a long time. And I'm telling you, I didn't have to pay all these thousands of dollars for, lawyers or what have you. Any questions I had, I just called Legal Shield. They answered the question and we knew how to move. Okay. For $24.95 per month, may I add. Okay, so it's so important that you get that piece in place so you're able to get legal advice on what you need to do. Okay, that's so important. You're going to need to be able to get that, especially if you're dealing with a nasty narcissist, because remember I told you, they'll lie. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you, once the lies get into court and all that stuff gets mixed up and what have you, the truth don't even make a difference anymore. It don't even matter what the truth is, because it's so confused. It's such a confusing mess that you're not even gonna know what's going on anymore, because you're gonna have to now start unraveling all of this stuff and all of these lies and lies upon lies, and especially if you got crooked lawyers and crooked judges and all of this stuff just mixed in, it can become a mess. And so those 7 steps, I'm gonna go through them once again. Okay, number 1, stash some cash, at least 3 months if you can. If you can't do that amount, number 2, 5 W's. Who is going to help you? When are you leaving? What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? And where are you going? Okay, deal with the 5 W's, because that's the most important part of this plan. 3, shut up. Don't tell anybody anything. Shut up. Okay, don't say anything, not even to your best friend. Nothing. Okay, nothing. Don't say anything until the plan is ready to be implemented. Okay. 4, change all the passwords, the logins, go through the home, the apartment, wherever you're staying with this person. Anything that's left behind that have a password, will change all of your stuff out, because they're going to, they could infiltrate it and change stuff around and plot things on you and all that. And that could really hurt you in the long run, because again, they will do things to you that you don't know what they're doing. The narcissists, they move like a for real snake. Okay, I mean, they move like a snake, and you're not gonna know you're bitten until it's too late. Okay, the next thing is have a copy of all of the personal documents. Remember, have a copy of all of the personal documents, and then start documenting everything. For number 6, start documenting everything that has happened. Keep a notebook, and last, get legal advice. My suggestion, get one of those legal plans, okay, like Legal Shield. And if you need assistance with that, I can help you with that. But that is my suggestion. If you can't afford to get a lawyer, you need to be able to you need to be able to bounce some questions off of someone in that legal field where it's not going to cost. Even a paralegal may help you with that as well, okay? But my suggestion is be able to talk to for real, a lawyer with legal advice, okay? So that's that part. And I hope that part has helped you. But now I want to get to a more serious part. And I want to talk about this from a spiritual standpoint, because after I went through my experience, I had to really understand from a spiritual sense what was going on. And why did I have to experience all of that I experienced in the way that it happened? It was really like living in hell. And that's an understatement. And if I had to define hell, I think that was my closest experience to possibly what I envisioned hell to be, to experience hell on earth, because I envisioned hell to be a very ugly place. A place where there's no compassion, no love, law, just lawlessness. That's what I envision hell to be. And that's what my life, it seems like it had turned into, and I couldn't get out. Just like they say, when you get in hell, there's no way out. Okay. And that's what I feel like I was experiencing. I travel a lot, and this example is what came to my mind when I was thinking about this part from a spiritual standpoint. And we talked about, the narcissist needing oxygen. But when I fly a lot, and they go through the little airline, what do you call it? Air flight attendants. The flight attendants go through their little routines with the seatbelt and all of that. But there's one part that they say that it really is serious when they talk about that oxygen mask. And they always say, even if you have children, put the oxygen mask on yourself first, and then put the oxygen mask on your child, or whoever else that may need your assistance. And if you think about that from the spiritual sense, you need to take care of you first. And that's the point that I had to get to. I had to learn to take care of me first. When I was going through that situation that I was going through, I was so tired because I felt like I had given my life to everybody. To my children, to my, the narcissist I was dealing with. I mean, I had given to the point I had nothing else to give. I had nothing else to give. So I was in a state of just being tired because I was giving so much cooking, cleaning, all the meetings for the schools, and just the bills at the home, just doing everything, scheduling people. I mean, just everything that, women, what we do. What we do. I don't need to go through, what we do. Cook them bill, and we're the last to eat. I mean, what? Anyway, I learned through this experience that I had to learn how to take care of me first and not feel guilty about it. And that thing messed with my mind so much because I really feel like as though I was traumatized through my experience. I really feel like I was traumatized because a person that is giving themselves to everybody, and then they're manipulated and arguing back and forth and put down, and I mean, and just going through a space of just evilness. It can traumatize you because you're trying to always understand why. What have I done to experience this? Because I'm giving everybody my all, my everything. I don't have nothing else to give. And then I'm being treated this way. So the rational mind, it's hard to understand these things. So think about your mind trying to break these things down mentally, day in and day out. It will break you down. It will break you all of that way down because you're always in a state of confusion. And the confusion never leaves. And so when the confusion never leaves, it keeps mounting on one another. All of the problems now are mounting. You know why? Because you're not dealing with the first problem. The first problem is there. Now I got the second problem. The third, everything is just mounting. And you feel like you're drowning. You're drowning in problems and situations and being put down and let down. And you're still trying to do everything from anybody. And it comes a point where things just explode in your life. Remember the oxygen mask. You got to save yourself first and not feel guilty about saving yourself. Not feel guilty about saving yourself. So that's why I gave you those steps, because you need to take those steps and you need to implement that and do it in a smart way. You may still be in a space of mental trauma, but you got to get yourself together long enough to put the oxygen mask on to do what you need to do to save yourself first. You know, there is power in the tongue. When I tell you there is power in the tongue, we as we have to be so careful about the things that come out of our mouths. We have to be so careful on how we package things, how we say things to each other. And I know you hear this all the time. We heard this in kindergarten. You know, be nice, be kind. But I'm going to tell you, when you become an adult and you begin to say things, let me give you an example. And this is true. You know, I was pastoring a church, and we actually did an experiment in the church. And I saw this on YouTube, and if you Google it, you'll see it too. And it's called the rice experiment. So some of you may have even know what I'm talking about. So I saw this rice experiment on YouTube, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna see, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it at church over a period of time. We're just going to see what happens. So this is what the experiment is. You get 2 mason jars, okay, the clear jars, and you cook some rice, okay? You cook the rice to the point that it's fluffy, okay? You just cook the rice. Don't put butter and all that stuff, and we ain't eating the rice, okay? We just going to cook the rice all the way through. Half and half. Put half of the rice in this jar, half of the rice in that jar. On one of the jar, you get a Post-it note, and you put good, and on the other positive, excuse me, not good, positive, and on the other one, you're going to put negative. Every day when you get up, have those jars in a certain spot. Don't move the jars. Keep them wherever they're going to be. But every day that you get up, you say positive words to the one that has the positive Post-it on it, and you want to say negative words to the jar that has the negative Post-it. I promise you, when we did that experiment, the jar that we were saying negative words to, because I would even bring on Sundays, I would bring the jars to a church, and I would ask the people to do the same thing, say positive and negative words. We did this for about a month, I think, about 3 to 4 weeks. I can't remember, but I think it was about a month. As God is my witness, the rice that we were saying the negative words to, it got molded. It stopped. There was no fluff there. The color had started changing. And the one that we were saying positive words to, I don't think it was any mold in it. It was almost still in the same capacity. Please do the experiment. So I said all that to say this. If that's what happened with rice, what do you think happens with people when we do this to one another, when we say mean things and we gossip and we lie and we hurt? What happens to us? Okay. And so the thing about it is that you're talking about somebody who is a narcissist, and you're dealing with that negativity day in and day out. It stunts your growth. No growth is happening for you. You're not growing. No one's growing in a household. It's going to be a hectic household. The household is going to start to regress. There's not going to be any growth. There's not going to be any positivity, because words have power, whether we believe it or not. Now, this is the thing. Let's talk about the word, because a narcissist knows how to use their words. They use their words to hurt. They use their words to put down. They use their words to paralyze you. No matter how they have to formulate the words. Most of the time, they're going to formulate it in some type of lie that's going to do something that's going to paralyze you. Okay. So if we do this now from the spiritual standpoint, I'm going to tell you how serious this is, because this conversation is about to get really deep now. It is so serious when you use your words to hurt, because whatever happens in the spiritual realm, it's going to manifest itself in the physical realm where we are. It starts in the spiritual realm first, then it manifests itself in the spirit, in the physical realm. So when we say negative things out of our mouths, or we lie, or we put things down, or we gossip, or we align ourselves with people who do this, this is what happens. The words go out, and then the words, they have to attach or land somewhere. So if you're lying, if you're saying negativity, those words, they're going out in the spiritual realm, but when they come in the physical realm, they have to land somewhere. So this is it. If the lies are meant for someone and this person is really a God appointed person, because I feel like there are some people that are really appointed by God. There are people that are really trying to live right. There are people that are really trying to do right. So when these words come out, and if it's coming from a person with a narcissist or an evil mindset, or they're aligning themselves, that means, when I say aligning themselves, that means they're going back and forth in dialogue with this negativity. They're gossiping about this person. It could be something they don't even know to be true. But if they are participating in any way, the words go out and then they have to attach. Now, this is the thing. It will attach sometimes to people it's not meant for, but eventually it has to drop off. You know why? This is where the glory comes. This is where it gets good. It can't stay. You know why? Because it realizes that's not its home. And so what happens that eventually those same words will go back to the host in which it came from. The same words that were meant for somebody, eventually it will come back to the place it knows as home. And that's where it will reside. So that's why I know in my situation, it took me a year or two to figure out what the hell just happened here. Clueless to anything. But when I found out, things then start unraveling, but it happened slowly. And we're going to talk about that in just a second too, and why it had to happen in the way that it happened. Okay. Why did things have to unveil for me so slowly? Okay. But the thing about it is, remember this, for those that are gossiping, that are lying, that are backbiting, that are, operating out of a space of evil. And this is the thing about it. The people that's doing it, listen, you got to give them props. You know why? Because they out in the open. They don't care who see them, but it's the people that's doing it behind closed doors, like the narcissists, or I call them the bystanders. Let me explain to you what the bystanders are. The bystanders are those who just stand by and they just watch it all unfold. They don't say anything. They just like, yeah, okay. But at the same time, they're not doing anything to stop the narcissist or whoever spewing out these lies. They're not doing anything to make them stop. They're not even fact checking. They are participating by not saying or not doing anything. And then you're going to have those that's going to stand by and they're going to participate all the way. They're like, oh, yeah, I know he was always like that. Oh, yeah, I know she was already like, I'm glad you found all of that stuff right there. Whatever happens to the person that's spewing it out, their karma will be your karma too. Everybody's going to join in on that karma that's coming back. And we're going to talk about, and I'm going to give you some proof on why this has to happen. Okay. So let me keep going here. With these words going back to the real host that it came from. It's the law of nature. That's just how the world moves. Okay. Karma, what goes around comes around. Those words aren't just light words. What goes around, it really does come back around. Sometimes it takes a little longer because there are other things that have to happen in the spiritual realm so it can manifest in the physical realm. Okay. Sometimes, so in my situation, I know why mine had to happen real slow. And I understand it now. I couldn't understand it at the time, but I get it now because it was during that slow time period when everything was unfolding at a slow pace. I could only take a little bit at a time because the pain kept increasing. It kept increasing over a period of time. And it's like I would get this amount of pain or I would hear something else that happened and I would have to grab my heart and then I would be able to take that and then it would crank up a little more. But I realize now why. Because God knew that he could trust me with this pain. And that's a profound sentence. God knew he could trust me with the pain. What does that mean? It's some people that will take pain and what people do to them and how they treat them, and they'll retaliate or they'll do something evil. Or, this is where you see on the news where people are getting shot and killed and all kind of stuff, and, creating all kind of mess for people. But God knew he could trust me with the pain, because even in the pain, I was going to do right by people. I was going to do right. I was going to behave the way so God would be pleased with me. And I kept that behavior throughout, because God knew this day would be right here where we may not have a lot of people that's listening to this, and that's okay. I've never been about numbers. Those that have known me, even when I did ministry way back when I started Women of the Well, I have never been concerned about numbers. You know why? Because I know that one person needs to hear this. That one person is listening to this for such a time as this. This is for you. I had to experience all that I experienced to set you free, so you could get out. I had to experience all that because somebody might be listening to this that is a bystander, that has participated in hurting people and doing wicked. You may be a bystander that call yourself going to church every Sunday and you praising the Lord all over social media, but you sat by and you allowed evilness to take place and you did nothing. You're a Peter. Why do I call him that bystander of Peter? Because we know what Judas did. Judas, listen, he came out with his stuff. He just kissed Jesus and said, there he is right there. Did what he was going to do all out in the odor. But Peter didn't do that. Peter just went on his merry way, and he never opened his mouth. He denied Christ 3 times. Never said a word. That's a bystander. They sit by and they watch it happen. He watched from the side. He watched and never said a word. To me, bystanders are worse than sometimes the narcissists, because they sit by and they watch it happen, and they allow people to be hurt and manipulated, and they allow lies to go forth, and they allow children to be hurt, and they don't say anything. They participate in the gossip. They participate in the hurt. They participate in the pain, and they never open their mouth. A Peter. So I'm saying all this to say this. Where we are right now, I don't care what stage you are in your life. I don't care if you're experiencing narcissists. I don't care if you are a narcissist. I don't care if you are a bystander. It's going to come a time where we all are going to be accountable for the decisions and the choices that we have made. And I'm so happy that in this day, in this state that I'm in, and on this day where we are, that I can say I'm so happy with the decisions that I made, because I wouldn't want my children to look at me a certain way. I want them to be pleased with who their mother is and not be ashamed with choices that I've made. Because it's, again, when things happen in your life, it's not just about you. Sometimes it's about not just you, it's about you and those that's around you. You have to be careful about how you act and how you walk and the choices that you make, because not only are you going to be accountable to those that you say that you love, you're going to be accountable to God. You're going to have to atone for everything that you've done. You're going to have to atone for every decision that you've made. You're going to have to atone for everybody that you've aligned yourself with. You're going to have to atone for that. You're going to have to atone for everything, every word that has been mocked. It's some right now mocking what I'm saying. You're going to atone for it. I'm telling you, you will. Atonement is coming. I was having a discussion not too long ago about, what Judgment Day is. I really feel like we're going through a sense of judgment right now. I really feel like in our lives that we are going through a sense of judgment, because God is putting us in positions right now as a test. I feel as though I was a test for some people. My experience was a test for some people. I was the test. They feel as though some people feel like they ambushed me. No, you got ambushed because it was a test to see if you were going to fail it or not, on how you were going to act and how you were going to behave. Why do I say that? Because sometimes with a narcissist, They have to have people that they align with. That's where their power comes from. They align with people. That's where their strength comes from. And see, what happens is that from the spiritual sense, all of those spirits, all those like spirits, they join together. All of those like spirits were corralled in one area. All of them. All of those spirits congregated all together. Okay. So when you align with different people, when you align with different things, that's a congregation of being like-minded with like spirits. So that means what you're saying is that I'm okay with what you said and what you did. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to high five you. Do it again. Those are like-minded, like spirits. See, we're going through a time right now where there's going to be a separation of the tare and the wheat. And that's where we are. There is a clear separation of the tare and the wheat. And I can promise you, there's a saying, live long enough, you're going to be able to see all the tare and the wheat separated. Okay. It's evident. Nobody's life is going to begin to excel. God is not going to bless anybody if they're out hurting and manipulating and lying and backstabbing and being a bystander and being a narcissist. That will not, I don't care what kind of scenario they create. It will not be blessed. Those people are going to be at a standstill and you'll be able to physically see it. You'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see the blessed ones. You know why? Because like I told you, God knew he could trust me with the pain. Now, I can't speak for anybody else, but this is my testimony. He knew he could trust me with the pain because when I did right by the pain, God began to promote me and level me up. He began to sit me in different communities of people that started to appreciate my talents and appreciate who I was. And that's what will begin to happen. If you are experiencing a narcissist and you're worrying about, being betrayed by the family and your friends or what have you, don't worry about them, because if they're bystanders or if they're aligning with the narcissist, God will uproot you from that community and he will bring you in a community of people that love you and care for you and appreciate who you are and respect you. You can't worry about it. And that's one thing. When I went through, I didn't worry about people. I didn't worry about what people said. I didn't worry about what people did. I really put all of my focus, remember the oxygen mask. I finally learned in my life to take care of me. I finally learned to put me first. And when I began to do that and strengthen me, those that were connected to me, they began to have strength. Those that loved me, they began to get blessings. But we all went through a period of trying to find the oxygen mask so we could learn how to put it on ourselves first, to take care of us. You can't lean on somebody else and take their oxygen. Everybody has to be have to be independent. You have to be able to depend on yourself. If you're leaning on other people and you're taking their oxygen mask and you're depriving them of oxygen, that's evil. That's evil. All right. I'm going to stop this here. I have a lot more I could talk about, but I feel like, we have gotten to a point where we can stop. When I come back, because I'm going to do this again. When I come back, we're going to talk about the entrapment. Okay. And we're going to talk about how the plans begin to manifest, or how the plans are derived in the narcissist's mind, and how that begins to manifest from their mind to actually listen on somebody's doorstep. Okay. There are other topics, but we're gonna just like I did before. I'm gonna let you know. I want to let you know what the point is that we're gonna deal with. But I'm going to end this right now. Thank you so much, TikTok. Oh, that word was for you. See, I told you it's not about numbers. It's not about numbers. It could be just that one person that needed to hear this message today, so you'll know how to move. And I told you, if you're a person and you're going through, you got to ask yourself, can God trust you with the pain? Can he trust you with the pain? I'm so happy. I'm so happy that as I moved through that situation that was crumbling, I mean, I had people that knew me for almost all of my life. I had friendships that for 20 plus years. And it hurt me to my core when I was going through that. Nobody picked up the phone. Nobody to ask me, is this true? I mean, what is going? Nobody. Okay. Now, let me take that back. I had my core people on one hand. Okay. On one, I promise you, it was one hand. In fact, I had one friend. I'm not going to start calling out names here. I had one friend. I never told any of my friends what I was going through. I only told one person as I was matriculating through this nightmare. But I had one friend, she didn't even know. And do you know, I promise you, maybe every couple of weeks, she would text me and say, "Are you okay? I'm feeling like something is wrong." And you don't have to. And this is the part that I respect about her. She said, I didn't have to tell her. She said, but she is always in prayer for me because whatever I'm going through, she is praying that God will redeem me and bring me out on the other side. This is what I'm talking about. Remember, I was telling you, like minds, birds of a feather flock together. So those like spirits that when the evil was going out, how they were, corralling against one another and high-fiving and mocking and all of that. Those evil spirits came together because they birds of a feather flock together. But just like those that live right and try to do right and try to, be good and do what we're supposed to do, you have people that's going to align with you too. Now, I will guarantee you, it's not going to be in the vast number as it is with the narcissist, or he's going to be able to get a whole crew. Trust me, there's a whole lot of evil ones out there. But even that small group that's trying to do right and live right, I didn't need a lot of people around me. I just needed that 5 that I had. And it was really 4. I just needed, and I didn't even have to talk. The support that they gave just from being there without me even having to speak it. I would take those friendships, I promise you, to my grave. I promise you. And if I stay here long, I'm going to start crying because I'm just thinking about the support that they gave me. And they didn't even realize they were giving it to me. They had no idea the strength that they were giving to me without me even having to say a word. That's a true friend. And when you're doing your 5 W's and you're trying to get out, God will direct you to that person who's going to assist you in taking the steps that you need to get out of those situations. Okay. You guys, I pray for you. I love you so much. Check in with me when I do my next one. We'll see where we're going with it. Miss Vernay, I see you. Good evening to you. Thank you so much for piping in. Okay, you guys, until next time. Bye-bye. Let me see how I see in here. Bye.